Steam was one of the first digital storefronts for video games. It remains the dominant storefront for PC gaming to this day. While there are competitors that have tried to dethrone Steam like GOG and Epic Game Store, nobody has really managed the widespread success of Steam. Now, Steam isn't perfect by any means, and my video today is going to focus in on one of the ways that I think Steam just could be a little bit better, and that is the way that reviews work on Steam. As you can see in my own reviews on the channel, and as I stated in my video on how I personally review, I enjoy using a 10-point scale. While I realize that no system of reviewing is perfect and all have their issues, I struggle with Steam's system for reviewing. Basically, Steam offers you two choices. Do you recommend the game or do you not recommend the game? Steam will then give it a rating on the store page based on the percentage of people that recommended the game. Now, before I get to why I personally struggle with this system, I want to say that I can understand the appeal of doing it this way. It is a very simple system. You either give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. This allows for a quick and easy formula to display the rating of the various games. In addition, I do like Steam's way of presenting the rating of games. Giving games ratings like overwhelmingly positive, very positive, mixed, or negative are helpful for getting a very quick read on how good people think a game is. It's a simple system that allows Steam to give you a quick rating based on how many people have recommended or not recommended a game. So what's my struggle with this system? Now notice that I'm saying my struggle. I'm not entirely saying that this is a bad system. It's just a system that I struggle with based on how I approach games. When I'm given a choice between two ratings, recommend or not recommend, I'm going to pick recommend far more often than not recommend. I just feel like there needs to be an it depends or in the middle or mixed option. There are many games that I would tentatively recommend, but also know that there are issues that do bring the game down. In the system that we have now, I'd probably put these games as recommend for the most part, but it's not the most accurate description of how I would present or recommend the game. It's maybe more accurate than not recommended, but still I feel like there needs to be a middle option instead of a simple binary of yes or no. I also understand that there is the ability to write a review for a more detailed presentation. Problem is that most Steam reviews are kind of all over the place. Some reviews are super short and don't really give you a lot of information. Others use jokes or will be the opposite of what they actually rated the game, so you'll get recommended ratings that have like this game was awful, or not recommended that will talk about how great the game was, and you're like, well, how does this all work? There are also those reviews that are very informative and are a lot of help to figure out how this game works and what the good and the bad parts of it are. Problem is, they can be hard to find depending on the game. So while it is there and you can find good detailed reviews, it seems like it goes contrary to the idea of this system being used as a quick guide for how games are. Having written reviews are good, but it doesn't eliminate the issue of the binary system of recommended or not recommended for me here. Again, I understand that rating systems are always going to be imperfect. Letter grades and number systems are both flawed in their own ways as well. However, I do wish we had a review system that gave us a bit more nuance. I don't think Steam needs to adopt a number system, although I wouldn't complain about that if they did, to be honest. It's what both GOG and Epic Game Store does, so it would make things a bit more standard, but again, I don't think that's necessary for Steam to do. All I want is to have a middle option. Giving an in-between option would probably still make it fairly easy to calculate for Steam, but will also give people a tool to be more accurate with their game ratings. As I said earlier, this is more about my own desire for clarity than it is a massive complaint about Steam's review system. Overall, the recommendations rarely steer me wrong. It hasn't been perfect since there are games that I haven't liked that were rated very positive, and sometimes the degree of rating doesn't really match how much I've enjoyed it, but in general, the system seems to largely work. I guess my hope would be for an even more accurate rating system by adding another option. Maybe it wouldn't work since there are always people who rate things in strange or trollish ways, but I know that I would enjoy having a more middle rating for those games that just don't quite fit in a simple yes you should play it or no you shouldn't dichotomy. Is this a struggle that anyone else has with Steam reviews, or is it only something that gives me problems? Let me know in the comments, as it would be fun to hear your thoughts and any possible changes that you think might make things better. That's all for this topic though, so I'll see you in the next video.